I get to the hospital and I expect for the OBs to take care of me. And their answer was, our hands are tied behind our back. Like, just unseen, you know, and one of the doctors told me, you'll get bacteremia in your bloodstream. You will go to the ICU.
Right.
You will be put on a ventilator.
Right.
It's like, my story happened a year ago. How many more women has this happened to that we don't know about?
Yeah.
And how many more women are going to die in our state because of these abortion bans?
That was Emily Waldorf, an Arkansas woman, describing what happened when she was 17 weeks pregnant and her water broke. Because of Arkansas's abortion ban, Emily says doctors refused to intervene until she was on the brink of death. She chose to flee Arkansas, traveling to Kansas to access abortion care that she says saved her life. And now, Emily, alongside 3 other women and 1 doctor, is suing the state of Arkansas and Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders herself, seeking to strike down the abortion ban in its entirety. Emily joins us now, along with Molly Duane, litigation director of Amplify Legal, which is the legal arm of Abortion in America, which is spearheading this case. So, Emily, I want to hear more about your experience. But first, Molly, tell us exactly what this case is about. I know it was filed early this morning, so this story is just breaking right now. What for and why sue the state of Arkansas and the governor?
Well, the state of Arkansas has one of the worst abortion bans in the country, and people might not be thinking about this today with everything else that's going on in the world, but abortion bans are still having a very discreet and intense harm on people across the country every single day, and Emily is just one of those many women. So in this lawsuit, we are seeking to strike down the abortion ban in its entirety because we were told when Roe was overturned that sent the law back to the states. Well, guess what? The Arkansas Constitution is actually more protective of individual liberties than the federal Constitution and has language in it that other states have actually relied upon in finding constitutional rights under their state law to abortion. And so we are representing our clients here who are the real people who have been harmed and are continuing to be harmed by Arkansas's abortion ban. And Amplify Legal exists to fight for justice for the people who are harmed. And so that's what we're doing.
So, Emily, we heard a little bit of your telling your harrowing story, which didn't have to be, because abortion would have been a simple health care solution to your near-death experience. How did you make it to safety? How did you make it to the health care that you needed, which included an abortion?
So I was admitted to the hospital on a Monday, and I sat in that hospital on a labor and delivery bed, which wasn't even actually a real hospital bed, for 5 days. And after almost a week of pleading with the medical staff to either give me care or transfer me to a place where I could receive care, they continued to refuse. And we called the governor after my water had been broken for over 24 hours to ask for help. And I was advised to seek legal advice. And I was told that they could not and would not help me. So I retained
Molly,
an attorney.
is that? Yeah, I see that, and I understand that. Molly, what are you hoping will be accomplished by this suit, especially including the governor herself on this lawsuit?
Well, we are suing everyone in the state of Arkansas who enforces this really draconian ban, and that includes the governor. And as Emily's case makes clear, she couldn't get the health care that she needed in Arkansas. And a call to the governor, hiring her own lawyer, none of that resulted in health care in Arkansas. The best that we could do was transport her 3.5 hours away by ambulance to a hospital in Kansas. And that is just not how health care in this country should be practiced. And importantly, under the state's constitution, there is a right to life, to liberty, to equality, and to the pursuit of happiness. And if that right doesn't protect against what Emily experienced, then I don't know what that right means.
So, Molly, tell us about the other women who are part of this suit and what are the next steps here legally?
Well, we're representing 5 Arkansans in this lawsuit. Emily is one of them. One of the other women, Chelsea Van, was forced to continue a pregnancy that everyone knew was not going to result in a baby. She had to go to her OBGYN once a week for 7 weeks just to see if there was still a heartbeat, just to see if she could actually get the health care that she needed. She would go directly from the OBGYN to a psychiatrist, because can you imagine the strain that that puts not only on her, but on her family? We're also representing Chelsea Stovall, who traveled for an abortion under similar circumstances to Teresa. And on her way into the abortion clinic, she was pelted with bloody pads by protesters outside the clinic. This is not humane. This is not health care. And importantly, these are women, these Arkansans are all mothers already. They have children at home. They have families that they need to protect and that need them. And our arguments in this case are that this is not humane, this is not constitutional, and this isn't how medicine should be practiced. So the next step in this case is that, it will be docketed. We will, negotiate with the other side and see how we can move the case forward as quickly as possible, because this ban has been in effect for over 3 years, and that is long enough.
So, Emily, to close, why are you taking part in this lawsuit, and how has this completely unnecessary experience, trauma that you've been through, impacted you physically and mentally?
I believe that no other woman should have to suffer like I did. And I want more Arkansans to have access to care that I was unable to have and was delayed in having. And it almost cost me my life. I hemorrhaged after I delivered because of my delay in care.
Emily Waldorf, thank you for sharing your story. Molly Duane, Litigation Director of Amplify Legal, thank you as well. And thank you for fighting for women's health care rights. We appreciate it.